Oh my god, whoa, that's a blast from the past. Yeah, Dr. Kim from the Berkeley Massive. Damn, it's been like 3 years? And I gotta say, I've cottoned on to this whole Dr. Gene Kim Berkeley thing. I know what you're trying to say, and you aren't fooling anyone. You're not a university, you're a person. I can tell because you're a lot smaller and you have hardly any drunk, horny or stressed students inside of you. You ain't tricking me there, buddy.
So we're going to cover all the evolution arguments right here.
All of them? Really? I don't know about anybody else, but I seriously f***ing doubt that. I mean, yeah, your video is longer than the usual stupid Miam can debunks all the Evolve boys in 5 minbits. Shit that I often cover, but frankly, 5 minutes is the f***iest of f***alls when compared to the amount of information there is backing up evolution. And frankly, 5 times f***all is still f***all. So I don't see you achieving even that claim. But also, how about we just see if you can cover 1 claims of the evolutions in a way that doesn't make you sound like a total dumbass?
We're going to cover all the evolution arguments, and I'm going to give you verses that you can use to debunk against that.
Woo, that's a good one. Oh, right, shit, he isn't joking, is he? He genuinely thinks that verses from the Bible can be used to refute science. Jesus Christ, my dude, the Bible isn't even able to have verses that support itself half the time, because it has this bad habit of contradicting itself hard. God damn it, this is going to be a good one, isn't it?
And not only that, the so-called evolution proofs will prove the opposite often. It'll prove the Bible.
Man, I'm trying not to laugh because I know he's being serious, but damn, he keeps throwing out banger after banger. I wish I was this unintentionally funny, but no, I'm just intentionally groan-worthy, and that's just my cross to bear. But yeah, no mate, evolution and the evidence therein is definitely not going to prove the Bible. I would say spoiler, but I don't think I need to because of course it won't. The Bible is f***ing bollocks, mate.
So we're going to do that. First of all, Romans chapter 1.
Good old Romans chapter whatever. That's the one about Paul meeting the saints in Rome and they go for a massive piss up. He says Jesus saved him a bunch of money on various investment scams, and then everyone just took the term saved and ran with it. You see, you really needed to be around for these Bible stories, like I was. Every single one of them started with everyone getting pissed drunk. And then some fuckhead would write down one word and extrapolate some right nonsense from it. It's almost impressive, really.
And notice what the Bible says concerning about God's creation.
Yeah, it has this in-depth dive into biology and how everything in humans and animals works, and has pages and pages and pages about geology and astrophysics, because of course God created everything and wrote the Bible, so those two things had to go hand in hand, and if we were to, say, discover that nothing in the Bible matches up with what we have discovered about the universe, maybe the Bible isn't quite the scientific document on reality it claims to be.
We're going to read verse 20, for the invisible things of him.
Nope, can't help it. My God, the production values on these fucking videos is non-existent. My dude, get an editor and position your camera so it can see you everywhere. Hell, these days there's some fancy toys and software you can get that will actually track you as you move about your space and make it look, well, a lot less like shit. And that you maybe have some idea what the f*** you're doing. Yeah, I know I complain about this shit a lot, but when your job is to watch these clowns fail through life every day, it would be nice if it didn't all make my eyes bleed.
20, for the invisible things of him, from the what? Creation of the world are clearly seen.
That is grammatically insane. Like, seriously, did they write these fucking books using a dartboard covered in random words and phrases? This is exactly why this crap is so up for interpretation. It doesn't help that you also flubbed it, but it still sounds like something that a modern spiritualist woo peddler would have come up with if they invented Crimsbianity instead today. But as far as I can tell, it's saying something about his invisible thing creating stuff in the world. So I can only assume God has a transparent cock and is spuffing onto the planet. Great. That's an image I'm not going to be getting out of my head anytime soon. Thanks.
Being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are what?
Can't deny he reads that like it actually means something, but it f***ing doesn't. You might extract meaning from it, as I showed previously. I certainly did. But that doesn't mean that's the intended meaning, or more importantly, that there was an intended meaning in the first place. That's what you have to understand about anything presented in poetic or flowery language. That shit is designed to be vague and difficult to pin down a meaning on. And if it isn't, then the author is simply incompetent and unable to make a clear and easily understood message. You would think an all-powerful G-dude might, do that. Or at least pick people who could. All-powerful should come with omni-recruitment after all.
Without excuse. Okay, so notice right here that according to Romans...
Romans, eh? No, I'm not going to do a diatribe about my very good friend in Rome, or Wome, Biggus Dickus and his wife, Incontinentian Buttocks. But I will say, according to Romans blah 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 blah, vague flowery bullshit, therefore you are without excuse for some reason. Not sure what I don't have an excuse about, because again, that was gibberish. But I sure as shit couldn't say that I have no fucking idea what that was all about, because they said so.
Chapter 1 and verse 20. God tried to prove to you that according to Romans chapter 1, verse 20...
Wait, God tried to prove that according to Romans? Oh, well, there I was thinking that it was supposed to be his word. But it turns out that the Bible is just a reference book that God uses to try and prove himself real. But unfortunately, it's not fit for purpose. So he ends up just getting his non-existence all over the pages, and then they get stuck together, and it's just a whole big mess.
That it was by him everything is created.
Well, that's funny, because all the things seem to exist despite him, but by any way, shape or form, well, that's just not necessary. Everything on this planet has explanations for how they came to be, including the planet itself, and at no point in those explanations is the phrase, and then Invisible Skyman did a thing to make that happen. Because, well, he didn't, and didn't even need to, mostly because he doesn't real.
But notice that it's an imprint of the Creator. Did you read that?
Oh, no, it didn't, because it didn't f***ing say that. That's some words that you decided were there for, well, no f***ing reason. But hey, if that's the game that we get to play today, then did you notice that it also said that you have to give Sir Sick all of your whiskey, and that you should subscribe to him and join his YouTube memberships, and, of course, buy his merch? Damn, that is interesting. And you have to do it. You wouldn't want to defy the word of God, would you? That's definitely not just me lying in order to make you do what I want. No.
According to that verse, all of creation is an imprint of the Creator, right? Yeah.
Look, it doesn't say that, but fine. Let's just say it does. What the hell does that mean? That the universe is just God? Not according to the Bible, it ain't. He is very much anthropomorphized, and that mankind specifically is made in his image. And well, last time I checked, the universe doesn't look like a bunch of slack-jawed hicks, aka the Who-Man's race. Thank non-existo for small mercies, I guess, 'cause that.
So this proves...
I'm assuming absolutely nothing, no matter how much he has us on the edges of our seats waiting, because it's just words in a book written by people, not evidence or studies or any of that shit. The things that you actually use to prove things. I've said it before. You can write anything you want in a book, but if you want people to actually fucking believe it, it should be like, true? Well, I suppose idiots will believe it, but frankly, do they really count?
That there is all of creation has something in common.
It's all shit. And it's not creation, but existence. Creation is just a word that you like to use because it suggests your thing. But we have no reason to believe it was created. So I suppose you are right. All of creation does have something in common. It was not created. At least nothing within or without it suggests so. So no reason to believe it was. Awesome.
It's a designer.
Okay. That's a claim that needs to be substantiated, but let's just say that it's true. Well, that designer is, and I don't want to mince my words here, a completely useless twat. That if he worked for any competent design firm, would have been fired, preferably into a wall, because even sending him to a competitor to sabotage them is too dangerous. And they want to make sure that that person's complete incompetence never threatens all of life on Earth. Which is a shame, But what are you going to do?
Is that what the verse showed right there? Right.
Whoever you are talking to didn't agree with you then. They fucking honked at you. And you know that confidently stating things doesn't make you correct, yeah? Even if people did agree with you, that also doesn't make you right. It never makes you right, mostly because of how wrong you are.
Creation, they all share something in common, it shows. By the creator, it shows the common creator, common designer.
Oh great, now he's repeating himself. See, that's a flaw. If your computer started to repeat the same thing over and over again, you would hit it or restart it, or worst case, chuck it in the bin. But in a Crimsbian circles, saying the same shit time and time again, that just makes it more correct and the person saying it less of an idiot somehow.
Now, evolutionists, they would like to argue.
Oh, we certainly do. I made a career out of it. First thing I would like to argue is stop calling us f***ing evolutionists. People who understand the scientific fact of evolution are not called evolutionists. We are just called, well, normal people for the most part. Folks who don't buy into a conspiracy theory that makes literally zero sense because they want to feel superior to all those sheeples. I also like to argue that humans are awful, whiskey is mine, and pineapple is a perfectly acceptable topping for your baby sandwich.
Where they're going to use chimpanzees are 90% similarity in DNA compared to humans.
Uh-oh. Is he going to do what I think he's going to do? Oh no, guys. This is a tragedy. No, not because I think he am going to debunkerize the Evolve Boys, but because he's going to say something really, really stupid. Shit, how could I have known that this would happen? This channel has been non-stop sensibles, and then Dr. Kim, who is also a university, comes along and ruins it for us all. Fuck.
They're also going to take some kind of backbone structure from you where the amount of numbers within your backbone perfectly match with some other animal, etc.
They're gonna take your backbone for you? Well, too late. From watching your shitty points, my spine already left my body from cringing too hard. Oh, that's not what he meant. He means that people will say that humans have a similar backbone to other animals because, yeah, no shit, that's what having a common ancestor will do. That's literally a big part of evolution. Of course, you have a really fucking stupid counter to that, but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
So they're going to use basically any organism in your body.
Wait. Organisms. Not organs, but organisms. So people are full of other creatures, are they? And yes, I know humans have various fauna throughout their body that work with them in order to do what have you and whatever, but yeah, that was obviously him misspeaking. He meant to say organs, right? He's not that much of an idiot, I'm sure. And now I can't stop picturing someone having various mammals all around their body where their lungs and stomach should be. And of course the brain hamster, up there, running its little wheel to keep all the lights on.
And they're going to see how it can match with an animal out there.
Well, I don't know about anyone else, but I do in fact share an organ that very much matches up with an animal. That animal, of course, being a horse, if you know what I mean. Yeah, you all know. It's stomach, obviously. Why do you think I'm so fat? Also hooves, but not on my feet for some reason.
They even went to the birth of the fetus, and they tried to match that up with the fish and gill slits and all that back then. Back then they did that. They're probably still teaching it now.
Are they? Do they? You would think that maybe if you're going to say something, you might want to know what they actually say. Funnily enough, as I understand it, you are talking about two things, I think. One is that there was a theory that embryos would have neck slits reminiscent of gills before the discovery that they did in fact do, but the actual issue was that the prediction was made using a faulty hypothesis. And in science, being right for the wrong reasons is pretty much just as bad as just plain being wrong, because you want to understand how and why something is the way it is, not just that it is. However, that being said, the presence of gill-like slits that are real very much goes in line with humans having a common ancestry that was aquatic. Let me guess that's dumb because you don't like it.
But what they're trying to do is find any organism in your body that looks similar with an animal.
Wait, shit, no fucking way. He actually thinks the word is organism. The Doesn't this guy claim to be a doctor? And yes, I know that doesn't mean he's a medical doctor, but getting a doctorate at least requires the ability to fill in some forms and know some things about reality. So surely he should know what fucking organs are. That's what I get for giving someone the benefit of the doubt. Nothing but disappointment that dips well below anything I ever expected.
And that will prove that we all shared a common ancestor, see?
Not on its own? No, of course not. That's not how science works. Berkeley Dr. Kim. You know, it's almost like he uses that title to trick people into thinking that he's a scientist of some sort. Someone with a science background. But it's actually like doctorate in, I don't know, advanced pig f***ing. He might be the best pig f***er on the face of the planet, but that doesn't mean he knows how to do a science. Only how to do pigs.
That's evolution's argument. So their argument is common ancestor.
Okay, again, that's not the only thing. That's a small part of a wide array of scientific evidence that points strongly towards how evolution works. Because again, evolution is a fact. It is a thing that happens no matter how ridiculous your belief system tells you it is. Doesn't stop it happening, and everything we do to prove or disprove it continues to show that fact in all its facty glory.
When they argue common ancestry, they're going to use certain parts.
He's got us there. When we make an argument, we certainly do use certain parts. In fact, we use one that you have clearly never heard of, and if you just used it once in your life, you might not sound quite so silly. I am, of course, talking about our hamsters. But to be fair, how are you going to use yours when it clearly died years ago? Mine, on the other hand, will never die. He be make strong with the whiskies.
Remember, they're going to take anything of God's creation in you, any organism.
3 times. 3 goddamn times. That's it. He thinks that the word for organ is organism. How can anyone who watches this clown take him fucking seriously? He is literally too stupid to words. And no, English is clearly a language he speaks pretty fluently. He just does it very badly. Again, because fucking dumb.
And they're going to try to find something similar with the human, to prove we shared a common ancestor. But no. I mean, it is, but no, because that's not how that works. People don't go out looking for organs. It just happens that when they show up, people are like, oh look, these are similar. What a not surprise. You can argue this way. You can argue that, no, it doesn't prove a common ancestor. It proves a common designer.
Amen. And there it is. And no, it fucking doesn't, for many reasons. But I'll just go with one, because it uses your own shit argument against you. If God designed everything, why is it also similar? Surely he's God. He could have made what he wanted, including things that don't even make sense. But instead, everything functions specific to its niche and within the limitations of nature. The way it would have happened had they say, oh, I don't know, fucking evolved.
For example, if you see a Honda Accord and a Honda Civic, am I going to stupidly teach that, this Honda Civic evolved from the Honda Accord? They both share the same ancestor somewhere.
Jesus fucking Christ, Kim, you dumb asshole. Cars don't fucking breed and are literally built by people. You are comparing apples to fucking airships. Or, no, let me think of a less similar thing. I know, you're comparing creationists with people who actually have brains. It just doesn't make any sense. Like everything you say.
Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six's channel Spoonstaff Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the